Paul Brown said to me, son, act like you've been there before. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, I just barely got on the field. I hadn't been there before. So
I'm glad to be part of that trend. You know, sun's out, guns out.
How about Isaac Curtis on one side, Charlie Joyner on the other side? A lot of quarterbacks were very envious that I had those two weapons to throw to. But
now, wait a minute. Is it fair that Pat McAnally is still the sexiest guy on our team? Is that?
You got me there. You got me good.
Donald, how you gonna be in that video not represent with a chain and your tango, man? I got mine on. I'm ready to go.
Oh, that's great. That's priceless.
There are two guys that I think it's a travesty that are not in that Hall of Fame.
Ken Riley and Ken Anderson. Yeah, sure.
Let's put the backdrop on, Jamie. See if Marissa's okay with it.
Yeah, I got her back. Starting the Canadian fan club up here for you.
That is so funny.
My last touchdown, and that's what Joe Burrow's going to end up like if they don't start protecting his ass. It's going to be the next David Klingler. David Klingler.
There's no Spanish-speaking people here, very few. So we, fast forward, we go to the Super Bowl in Miami, and the word was the Bengals have two big Mexican offensive linemen. They don't know how to speak Spanish. So I got down there and started doing these interviews in Spanish, and they're like, "Wait, we heard you don't speak Spanish."
What's going on, fellas? What's going on? But I got on the plane one day in an all red Suge Knight suit. And boy, Joe Walters and the lineman, they destroyed me. I thought for sure I was so clean. I had some gaiters on, all red suit on. I was Suge Knight. They roasted me.
The head coach was the pain in the butt. The Jerry Glenn, he thought he was. If you didn't know who he was, he walked out there like he owned his state. And I always say, if I could get a chance to hit him on the sideline, I would.
I'm tackling your ass, Pete. I'm shoestring low on you.
But I got to tell you, you would have been stepped on, son. You would have had cleats everywhere.
Well, I'm proud to be a Bengal. Yes, I'm proud to be a Bengal always been. And I got nothing from you guys.
We are so excited that everybody can join the first ever Super Bowl edition of Talking Football with Bengal Jim and Friends. Guys, welcome to the show, everybody. We've got a large group in all over our social media platform right now. Dave Lapham will be dialing in here. As soon as he dials in, we got him for about 15 minutes. As soon as he dials in, we're going to bring him on the screen here. But, guys, until Dave comes on, guys, actually, you know what? We're going to go ahead and kick it off here. Dave's getting settled in the waiting room right now. Dave, we got you as soon as you logged on, big dog. How you doing, buddy?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Good, brother. Good.
Oh.
Dave, I see the smile on your face, brother. What a hell of a weekend in Kansas City. I just got back late last night. Just give us I don't even know where to start, Dave. I'm so excited for every fan out there. I'm excited for people like you, so close to the team. Tell us what you're feeling right now. Talk a little bit about yesterday, man. Just give us your feel.
Yeah, I mean, that was an incredible performance. I mean, it's not recommended to go down 18 points to the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead, that 21-3 deficit. And they were going through the defense like a hot knife through butter initially, and then that 4th and 1 second and 1 on the 1 yard line, second and goal on the 1 with 5 seconds to play, and Andy Reid decides to go for it. It's all or nothing, and he ended up with nothing. And I'll tell you, Eli Apple, they played man coverage. Eli Apple went with Tyreek Hill behind the defensive formation. Hill motion. He followed him all the way across, and everybody played great man coverage. Wouzier just jammed the heck out of his receiver, and Mahomes was trying to go there, couldn't go there, and he all the way across the football field tries to get Tyreek Hill out there one-on-one on Apple. Apple comes across into the end zone about 5 yards deep in the end zone and just comes downhill and makes a great tackle on him. And I think that was the turning point of the game, because in the second half, the Bengals played so much man defense. They played so well on that snap when they went man. and they played a bunch of it in the second half, and that's when Lou Anarumo, man, they made some great adjustments at halftime. They rushed 3 and 4 and dropped 7 and 8 into coverage, and they played man with safeties there to double and to help. He used Sam Hubbard brilliantly. Sam Hubbard sometimes was lined up as a rush end, other times he was a linebacker, and he would spy Mahomes and then blitz him late and put pressure on him. He did so many good things that really had Mahomes dumbfounded. I mean, he was standing there holding the football. He didn't know what to do. And then he'd start running around, and they plastered people, on the back end. The coverage was so good, they ended up getting coverage sacks with that rush 3 and 4 guys and playing 7 and 8 back there in coverage. It was phenomenal to watch. I mean, some of the numbers are crazy. I mean, when you look at you got as explosive an offense as they were working against there, and in the final analysis, they got nothing in the second half. I mean, they had 3 possessions where they ran 8 plays and got 1 yard. To hold them to 3 points twice. They did it in the second half at Paul Brown Stadium, and they did it in the second half in the AFC Championship game. Man, it was so similar. Both those football games were so similar, and the defense played so well in the second half both times. It was almost eerie. It was like watching a repeat, like watching a rerun of success. It was crazy.
Yeah. Tom, I know you had something you wanted to run by him too.
Yeah, Lap, thanks so much for making time for us. You're so unique. In Bengal, you got to play in a Super Bowl for the Bengals. You got to cover a Super Bowl for the Bengals and do the color commentary. As you look at this team going into this Super Bowl, if you were in there right before they, ran out onto the field, what would you tell them? What do they need to be mindful of to beat the Los Angeles Rams?
Well, the Rams have some great players. Obviously, they're going to have to get ready to handle some significant players on both sides of the football. Really, the Los Angeles Rams. It's appropriate they're in Los Angeles because they have some star power. Aaron Donald, in my mind, is the best player in the league at his position, maybe the best player overall. This guy is a freak, and they're going to have to try to figure that out. He rushes it over both the left guard and the right guard, and the Bengals now are trying to decide what to do at right guard. Identity split time with Carmen. They rotated back and forth almost on a series by series basis. So there's some instability there, and they may just line Donald up at that right guard position over that position and just try to, create a mismatch, take advantage of that. The Bengals are going to have to figure out a way to handle that. That's one thing that I think of. And Von Miller, they picked him up. They traded for him, I should say, and. The Rams just have mortgaged their future. I mean, they don't have a first-round draft pick till 2025. I think one draft, they don't have a draft pick until the 4th round. They've traded all their draft picks away in going for it, all or nothing. Matt Stafford and some of the guys that they've gotten in trades. And so I think those 2 guys defensively. Then obviously on the back end, you had Jalen Ramsey, who's a freak. And I think that's going to be an interesting thing to watch. I think Jamar Chase and Jalen Ramsey are going to be one-on-one. I'd be shocked if Ramsey doesn't follow him all over the football field, and they're going to try to match that up and see if he can handle him one-on-one. And not if you don't have to double Jamar Chase, you can double other people, and that could be a tough dynamic if Jamar Chase can't win his share of the battles, against Jalen Ramsey on that back end. And offensively, they got Beckham, they got Cooper Kupp, who led the National Football League Triple Crown, led him in over 140 catches, I think it is. Crazy number of yards and touchdowns. He's an unbelievably precise route runner. So they've got their weapons, but I would tell the team, look, go out and play just the way you've been playing. Go out and relax, be loose, have fun. To win 2 playoff games on the road like you have. The team had never won a road playoff game. You guys have won 2 in a row, and you've had to come from behind. In so doing, so just go out and do what you're doing. Don't try to reinvent yourself. Don't try to overthink it. Don't try to do too much. You've got some core principles that are working offensively and defensively. Maybe dress them up a little bit differently, make the same things look different and different things look the same. maybe have the Rams' eyes, betraying them a little bit at linebacker and safety with what you're doing from a formation or personnel grouping standpoint, but running the same type of plays. Just go out and be yourself. Just go out and play and enjoy it. Have some fun.
Again, thanks for taking time, Dave. If we can circle back to that right guard position, we saw both Adeniji and Jackson Carmine playing there at right guard. What's your thoughts moving forward? You're going to see a rotation in 2 weeks, or obviously I think that is the weak point of the line. If you're Frank Pollock, what do you do to protect Joe all weekend?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the messenger guard type thing wasn't really a messenger guard. It was a rotational thing by series. It's going to be interesting. I mean, I don't know how the coaches have graded the tape. I'm not real sure that anybody outplayed the other one to the point where they've earned the job as such. So it wouldn't surprise me if there's still a rotation going on during the Super Bowl. That wouldn't surprise me at all. If they both played well enough and they both deserve to get playing time, let it happen that way. But the thing that I would do if I were the Rams, I would put another benefit they would get by putting Aaron Donald over the right guard and having Von Miller over the left tackle is you couldn't just slide the line and put an extra blocker over there and have 3 guys blocking 2 defenders. You'd have to balance it up. You couldn't, but everybody would have to take care of their side of the line of scrimmage. So it'd be easier. It would make it much more difficult, I should say, to double team Aaron Donald and take care of Von Miller. So that's what I would do. I wouldn't rush them on the same side. But the advantage of rushing them on the same side is they're so athletic. You can run twists and games and stunts, that look a little bit different because of their athletic ability. So I'm sure the Bengals see a little bit of all of it. And if you have to run 7-man protections to protect Joe Burrow, keep a tight end in, keep a running back in because of the pass rush, if it's overwhelming you, do it. Don't just block with 5 guys and get your quarterback beaten up. Obviously, the problem there is you got fewer people out in the route. So the guys that are in routes, they got to win. Whoever's one-on-one's got to win the battle. And Joe Burrow will find him. Joe Burrow will get him the football. I have full confidence in that.
Hey, Dave, our viewers right now, guys, type in some questions if you want. We got Dave for about another 5 minutes. We'll let him go. So we'll try to get to 1 or 2 viewer questions. But Dave, I got to give you, I was listening to you and Dan Horde on a podcast as we were driving back from Kansas City yesterday. And I think you made a comment. I think it's been interesting to watch. You go back to the Tennessee game. You go back all year and look at Joe Burrow. This guy getting sacked 9 times in Nashville, gets up. He's immediately on to the next play. He's not throwing the ball. He's not yelling at anybody. They don't seem to let things snowball. When something goes bad, they just move on. Next play. Let's make it up on the next play. They don't seem to let things get worse. And I think that's a credit to the coaching staff and Joe Burrow and these players. But talk about that a little. I think that's been very interesting to watch all year.
Yeah, I think Joe Burrow is about as tough, mentally and physically as any player on the football team. I think Joe Burrow plays the quarterback position with a linebacker mentality a little bit. His dad was a defensive coordinator. Jimmy was a hell of a football coach for a long time at the collegiate level. He's got a lot of skins on the wall. He's got 2 brothers that played defense at Nebraska. They were the linebackers. So, I mean, Joe Burrow appreciates the contact in football. And actually, when he was in a tough situation up at Ohio State, he asked Urban Meyer if he could cover kickoffs. Loves football and really respects the contact part of it. So Joe, when he gets hit, he doesn't, moan and gripe and groan and call out his offensive lineman. He just gets up and comes off the football field, sits on the bench, puts on his headset and gets his computer and says to the coaches, what do we need to do to be better the next series? Nothing we can do about what just happened. Well, how do we adjust? What do we need to do? How do we get better? And I think his teammates really respond and rally around that. I mean, that toughness, if your quarterback has that kind of toughness, man. I mean, I've seen Tom Brady's great, the recently retired Tom Brady, but I've seen Tom Brady sack himself. he gets hit a couple times real hard. He'll kind of assume the fetal position and curl up before contact even gets there. I've seen him in playoff games go down to the ground without even being hit. Joe Burrow's not that guy. He doesn't flinch, and I think the physicality part of Joe Burrow, really his teammates feed off of that, as well as everything else that he does so well. And the biggest thing he has to do is play well, and he does, man. He plays at a high level every single week. The guy has a very, very consistent bar that is very, very high, and he meets it every single week.
Yeah, that's cool. Jamie, I know we have a viewer question we want to get to before Dave has to go, at least one or two.
Yeah, you know what? Talking about the coolness and calmness of Joe Burrow, have you ever seen such poise and sense of calm from a second-year player? And if so, who does he remind you of?
It reminds me of the guy that just retired in that regard, and he reminds me of another guy. The one he reminds me the most of, obviously, and I think Brady and Joe Montana were very similar, and I think Joe Burrow's in that caliber of quarterback. They're very, very talented from the neck up. These guys are football savants. Joe Burrow can watch tape and assimilate so much information from his coaches and from the tape he's watching, and just volumes and volumes of it, and recall all of it. And then during the game, when something takes place, he can sort through everything and has an answer for what problem that they're presenting to him. And that's what Brady did. Peyton Manning did it. Joe Montana did it. Joe Burrow has that kind of mind. He has that kind of football mentality. He's got a tremendous football IQ. And he's got a strong enough arm to make every throw, but he doesn't have a howitzer hanging off his right shoulder. And neither did Brady, and neither did Joe Montana. They didn't have the arm, that Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre or any of those guys have. But, man, they can put it in perfect spots, tight portholes, and with perfect touch on it. And there's some similarities there. When Joe Burrow threw the touchdown pass to Tyler Boyd in the back of the end zone at Paul Brown Stadium, he got out of pocket, and the whistle blew. The official thought he was going to be out of bounds. He blew the whistle, but Joe still threw the football, and Tyler Boyd caught it. That reminded me of the NFC Championship game when San Francisco was playing Dallas, and Joe Montana gets out of pocket, runs to the sideline and throws it up there to Dwight Clark in the back line of the goal of the end zone, makes a play on it. Tyler Boyd's going in the opposite direction, but very, very similar. And I think, honestly, that the guys that Joe Burrow reminds me of are Brady and Montana. That's high praise, but I think it's true.
Yeah. Well, Dave, brother, we know we only had a short period of time. We know you rearranged your schedule, everything to be with us tonight. We really appreciate it, buddy. It means a lot. Hey, man, thanks a lot. Dave, I cannot wait to hear your call in a Super Bowl, brother. I'm so excited. Hopefully we'll see you out there, buddy.
Yeah, I'll see you out there. Jimmy, congratulations on you being fan of the year and getting out there in the Super Bowl. That's awesome and well-deserved. And I'll tell you, get a W, man. It's the last that has to happen. This football team win 2 road playoff games like they have, being the first to do that. Why not be the first one to win the Super Bowl? And honestly, guys, I look at this team. This is a number 4 seed. They had to go on the road and win. The first 2 times the team went Super Bowl, we were the number 1 seed times, never had to travel. This had to fight, had to scratch and claw and come back on the road. I don't know. I just think there's some kind of karma, man. There's something. I think it's going to be a heck of a game, and hope everybody.
Absolutely, brother. Hey, thanks again, Dave. Who day, buddy?
Thanks, Dave. Who day?
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Thank you, Dave.
Wow. Hey, guys, we have to remind people, the Bengals are now on the national stage. Everyone that's involved with this team is getting tied up with interviews and writing editorials and doing radio calls. To have Dave come on the show in the middle of a Super Bowl lead up is huge. So thanks, Dave, very much for taking time for us. Appreciate it.
Very cool. He literally had his schedule stacked, and for him to make 15 minutes with us as a fan show with you guys is just amazing, man. Just amazing. So some good stuff talking about there with Lap, man. Just him and Dan Horde calling a Super Bowl together. How cool is that? I'm happy for Dan and Dave to be there to call that. So James, where do you want to go next, brother? We got all kinds of stuff to get to.
Let's recap the fun events we had in Kansas City. As everyone knows, we were getting bombarded all week with question, hey, where's the tailgate going to be? What's the plan? What's everybody doing? And, let's start it off with the big pre-party Saturday night. We don't have the video on here, but we had a line a country mile long, 2-hour wait to get into the bar at the casino. We had, 3 or 4 different media there, and we overwhelmed them. I thought our presence in Nashville was big. I was like, that was great. Don't expect the same thing in Kansas City this weekend. And wow, Bengals fans showed up from all over the place, internationally, locally, cross country, you name it, they were there. And what a fun night that was. So why don't you talk about whatever I'm forgetting about Saturday night?
No, just Saturday night. We completely overwhelmed the Winning Streak Bar. They were very gracious. Said, Jim, 350 max is all we're going to get in here. Well, not only did we have 350, it was probably more. There was just people standing around, line going all the way down to the casino entrance, 2-hour wait. So many people were there. They just started heading to the casino. It was all orange and black in the casino that night and at the bar. Just an awesome time. I think most of the local news media was there at the meet and greet that night. It was a really fun evening. I
want to thank our friends at Bengals Bids. They had a nice setup in there where people could purchase autographed stuff. We did start our fundraising on Saturday night, so thank you to everyone that pitched in. We'll go to that a little bit later on who won that and what all was involved. But we started that Saturday night, and heck, they ran out of Miller Lite early. They were running out of bottled beer. They had to go to canned beers. And, I was talking to the one gentleman at the door. He said, that's the largest crowd I've ever seen in here since we opened. So great job, Bengals fans, for showing support. And, you walk out the doors there, and there was just more Bengals fans. It was literally the Harris Casino was, as you said, orange and black.
Yeah, it's funny. So a lot of comments throughout the weekend from security at the football game, parking lot people that we talked to. They said it's the most opposing fans they've ever seen at Arrowhead Stadium. So when you're watching TV, that camera angle they have up top really shoots, and you see the home side. Most all the Bengal fans were on behind the Bengals and in the upper deck. It was after the game was over, there was a sea of orange and black down at the bottom. Everybody came down to the sidelines to celebrate together. It was just an amazing time there for sure.
So let's continue on. Let's talk about the tailgate. I did stick some pictures in here. As always, we want to thank our friends at the Bengal trailer who were very gracious and getting everything set up. We had a unique spot. We were in the outfield of the baseball stadium. For those not familiar with the setup in Kansas City, Arrowhead Stadium, kind of to the south. Kauffman Stadium, I believe, is the name of the Royal Stadium to the north. And then we were to the north of that. We had a huge grass area, which basically was filled with Bengals fans. Let me find the picture here that will pop up. You can see Big Burrow was there. Thank you, Craig, and the Rusty Bus for bringing that. You can see Jeff Ruby's bus there. You can see the Bengal trailer with the goalpost. Basically, take this picture and just multiply it 5 times, wrapping all the way around. It was crazy. RVs lined up as far as you can see, orange and black as far as you can see. It was quite the party. You can talk about the food, Jim. You organized that, and man, was it good?
Yeah, 250 cheese cones we brought up from Camp Washington Chili that the trailer heated up for us, and then we went and picked up enough burnt ends and pulled pork from Mitch. Meat Mitch is the name of it. The best burnt ends I've ever had. There was enough food there to feed 300 people. It was just a great day. The weather was amazingly nice as well. I was 50 degrees in Kansas City for the AFC Championship game. And what was really cool at the end of the game, when all the Chiefs fans left, you know how they do the tomahawk chop. We were pretty much had the stadium doing the same thing, but it was Joe Burrow, Joe Burrow. We were having a lot of fun, man. And the fans in Kansas City were outstanding. We didn't have any problems with any of the fans up there at all, James.
No, not a, they were very, very gracious. A lot of congratulations at the end. A lot of good luck in the Super Bowl. We're going to be cheering for you. And Arrowhead Stadium is loud. It was packed. They had the chop chant going, but everybody was very gracious. No problems at all. And again, kudos to the Bengals fans. And again, thank you to the Bengal trailer for everything they did. Darren, Rick, Greg, Tony, everybody over there that set that up. We did have Icky Woods, who was part of the post game ceremony, stop by. Our buddy Jeff Ruby was there, literally the whole tailgate, hanging out and smoking cigars. And I tell you what, I think the cigar industry needs to thank Joe Burrow for him lighting the cigar at the Superdome, because there is no doubt cigar sales have gone up like 560% since that epic picture and video of him in the national championship game.
And guys, Tom, I want to hear your take on this, man. I was a little off my prediction this year. I thought we'd go 17-0, but guys, I keep thinking maybe I might wake up from a coma or something, and Churchill tell me that you've been in a coma for the past 2 months. This is so surreal to me, guys. Tom, how you feel? It is freaking awesome. I'm so happy for everybody to get to experience this. Tom, where are you at right now?
This is everything we've been hoping for, and for Jimmy, you and I, everything we've been trying to explain to everybody all these years, even during the 5-year playoff run with Marvin, even with that great team in 2005. Nothing galvanizes and excites this city and this fan base like when the Bengals are playing well and elitely well. They're going to the Super Bowl. Just going is such an incredible feat. But what it's done for this city, I mean, my God, you go to pump your gas and people are screaming, strangers are screaming at each other, "Who Dey?" Everybody is smiling. Everybody's exciting. The media has been on TV has been very objective. My God, even local radio has bought in and is now, unconditionally supporting the Bengals, just like it is in every other city. They've changed the culture of the city. And we've got special guys to build on. We've got Joe Burrow. We've got Jamar Chase. We've got, Logan Wilson, DJ Reader et al. There's such an easy group to root for and pull for, and they seem to relate to us. They understand a little bit of what we've been through, and it's been explained to them, and they feed off us. It's just an incredible group, an incredible trip, and hopefully this time we finish it off the right way. Two very other talented special teams, almost, but couldn't quite get it done. But this is a special group. This is just the beginning, but what it would be, in less than 2 weeks to finally bring the Lombardi Trophy back to the banks of the Ohio.
Oh my God.
It would be the greatest sports day in this city's history, period, end of story. And like I said, it's just the beginning.
And there's a lot of talk, Tom, agree 100% with everything you said, about the bandwagon fans jumping on the bandwagon. The one cool aspect of this, and going back to LSU, is how many LSU fans who weren't even maybe NFL fans have jumped on board, which I think is great, which I love. There was a couple that sat next to us from Louisiana who drove up. Certainly their fandom started when we drafted Joe. We have Jamar Chase. We have Shelvin. We have, a lot of value fans on our team. And, welcome aboard. It's exciting. Hopefully when we play in New Orleans this year, maybe LSU has a home game that Saturday night. That would be exciting to go over to Baton Rouge and watch that. But that's been a nice influx of new fans, fresh blood, and they're cordial and they know how to party.
Even some that may have jumped off, they're welcome back. We all want the same thing. We're all going in the same direction, and we all want that final win. But man, this has been a magical year. This has been a special year and a special group. Not that we're satisfied, not that we have what we want, not clearly they. And I'll talk with the two leaders, Zach Taylor and Joe Burrow. They have what they want. which is the big ring and the big trophy. But I mean, this is a special group, and they've earned any good thing that can come their way, and they've got one more game to win.
We're not done. One more to go. So, guys, we're going to change gears a little bit here. We've got several guests we're going to get to. We want to kind of kick off, guys, just to let everybody know the charity this year. It's just Tony and Carrie and everybody on the screen here, and Brandon and Hannah and Caleb. Everybody in our tailgate has gone out of their way for all these mostly local charities we've worked with this past year. Guys, we have set a new record for charity donations. You guys, after this weekend, have raised over $53,000 for local charities. So we run this through the entire football season. That is kudos to Bengals Nation right there. That's not just fans locally, regionally, or across the country. It's internationally that people are helping out with these charities. And every one of these charities we work with has been very appreciative. We are getting ready to kick off our last charity of the season. For the next 2 weeks, we're going to be working with Maddie's house.
Jimmy, hold on before you do that. Let's recap real quick. The charity, as I alluded to earlier, we kicked it off Saturday night at the casino, collecting money. We want to thank our friends at Bengal Bids for the Jamar Chase helmet. So we continue that on to Sunday morning at the tailgate. Over $4,000 raised for Boomer Esiason's Foundation, cystic fibrosis. As we've talked to Bengals fans, through the other donations, it seems like every time we do something, it touches home. There was a lot of people that came up that bought tickets that had a family member afflicted with cystic fibrosis. And I'm going to pop this up real quick. This was Josh Hawk, who was there. He wasn't there when we made the announcement. Jeff Ruby actually pulled the ticket up on stage. And Jimmy, I believe you sent him a text. I don't know where he was, but he showed up about an hour later. Excited, thought it was a joke. Did I really win? And he was the winner of the Jamar Chase autographed helmet. So he was super excited, and a lot of people, as I mentioned, pitched in money both days for that. Over $4,000 raised. So that's been added to the total. There's more coming in, and now we're excited to keep the fundraising going, Jimmy. And let's talk about what we have next.
Yeah, so we're kicking off the next 2 weeks. This is the final fundraiser of the season, and we'll be working very closely with Maddie's house. We actually worked. We did a duck race late last year with these guys. I think you guys raised about $700 to $1,000, somewhere around there for them. But we're going to do Super Bowl squares this year. We're going to talk about that here in a minute. And the Super Bowl squares this year, just like we did last year, is going to be focused on Maddie's house, and 100 squares, $25 a piece, $2,500 will all go directly to this particular foundation. But we have Julie and Steve Raleigh in the waiting room right now. We're going to pull them on, and we're going to talk to them about the. Hey guys, can you guys hear us? Everything good?
Yeah, everything's great. Hi guys.
Everything's great.
So Julie, you're at home and Steve's working. It looks like.
Yeah, I'm at home. He's working, watching this crazy storm coming through.
Yeah.
So,
do you know a good weatherman, Julie, that can help us out on this kind of thing?
Guys, I was just looking at the weather down the line on the 13th, and I think we're going to be fine. In fact, the long range has got actually 73 degrees and sunny on that Sunday. So it's going to be perfect conditions.
So everybody's going, there's no snow. It's going to be nice. It's going to be perfect. So we're excited about that. So Steve, Julie, we're so excited to have you guys on. So a couple things I'd like you to talk about. First of all, explain to our viewers right now. We got a ton of folks watching. Explain to our viewers exactly what Maddie's house is and help them understand what you guys are doing.
well, first off, I just want to say amazing, $53,000. Wow. I mean, congratulations to everybody listening, watching, participating. That's amazing. You know, we lost our daughter Madison to addiction and mental health issues January 17th, 2019. And I declared war on addiction and mental health. And my family started a charity called Maddie's House. And it's a relapse prevention mental health community center. When you get out of rehab, there's nothing. When you get out of mental health, hospitalization. There's nothing to continue and bridge you to healthy. So our family started this charity to help other families, help young adults struggling, and we are doing amazing things. We're saving people, and Mercy Health just gifted us a 8,400 square foot home on almost 3 acres of land on a beautiful pond, and we're renovating a house, and we need money to renovate and continue programming and make it bigger and better and help more people. The annex is open, and every night it's helping other young adults, and we are just blessed to be part of your broadcast tonight. So thank you so much for what you're doing for us.
Steve, anything to add to that, buddy?
Well, just the fact that I guess just to add the programming that we do, the new gift of that 8,000 square foot house will allow us to add to what we're doing. On Friday nights, we have dinner in the movie. Local restaurants have donated like La Rosa's and Skyline, Effing Good Chicken, La Soup, and then our members come and they hang out. And that's the biggest thing I can tell you is it creates community and somewhere for young adults to go. On Saturday, we have a really popular art therapy through the afternoon. And then through the season, we've been having Bengals watch parties. And of course, that's been really well attended. And now we're at, obviously a Super Bowl party is possible. And then after that, it'll be more of a Sunday fun day with games and things along those lines. But going to the big house, guys, that's going to be a huge jump for us. We'll be able to provide more programming like cooking skills, resume things, job hunting. We're going to have a new kitchen. We have a brand new coffee bar that we're building. And all of those things are added to the AA and NA meetings that we have at night. And the difference here is, and this is no knock on anybody else, but a lot of times you have these meetings in a dark basement. It's do your meeting and you're out. Well, the whole point of Maddie's house is you come to the meeting, maybe you go down to the game room, play some video games, play some ping pong, hang out in the coffee bar, just to enjoy a little bit more and to give folks who are trying to lead a healthy life, and it's not always easy to be able to do that. And that's our community center, Maddie's house.
Nice. So we are going to focus our Super Bowl squares this year on you guys, $2,500. But you can also talk about Steve, Julie, if you could. I know there's an event coming up. If you could kind of preview and talk about Marvin Lewis is coming in town. So talk about that with our viewers right now.
How do you want to do that, or you want me to do that?
No, go ahead, honey. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I cheered during the 80s for the Bengals, and we were the winning 80s. I missed the Super Bowl, the 89 Super Bowl and the 81 Super Bowl, but I'm not going to miss this Super Bowl. So I worked with Marvin for 11 years as a junior Bengal coach under the Bengals, and Marvin loved Maddie. She was a junior Bengal cheerleader. She would go in and out of his office stealing candy out of his candy jars, and go in and wanted a new t-shirt, and Marvin was always very kind. And he called a couple weeks ago and said, "Hey, I want to come home. I want to do something for Maddie's house and raise awareness, raise funds." So he's coming home on February 18th, and Funky's Catering is so kind to let us use the view up across from Rookwood Pottery up in Mount Adams, and we've created this amazing event. I think we only have like 20 tickets left. So if you want to get on, go to mhcincy.org and buy tickets. Not many tickets left. It's almost sold out. mhcincy.org. See what we're all about. Check us out. And, if you want to donate, we would love that too. All donations are, no donation is too small. We're very grateful for that. But I know Jim and friends are coming to the event. I know Marvin's excited to be there, and we got Anthony Munoz, we have Hugh Jackson coming home, we have some other surprises we can't tell you about until you get there, but it's going to be a great night.
Yeah, we're gonna share your website on a link here with everybody that's viewing right now, so they have access to see that. We will have a table there, guys. We're looking forward to supporting you guys, and it's a very, very important cause in our region here in our city. So we're very excited to be part of this and help you guys out. So,
well, listen, I just want to say, and I don't want to miss the opportunity to thank you very much. All you guys obviously are committed to making this community better, because you're giving us a platform and a forum to be able to talk about this. As Julie said, we were hit with this tragedy 3 years ago. And the only thing we really want to do is try and help others not have to go through this. And you guys are helping us accomplish that. So thank you so much.
Yeah, we appreciate it. We look forward to seeing you guys here in a few weeks for that event. And I want to share everybody right now. There's a lot of good weather people in the area, but Steve Raleigh is 99.9% accurate on his weather forecast. So make sure you watch Steve.
Well, I tell you, every once in a while, Jim, we do have the job where you can consistently be wrong and still keep your job. And I think anybody in my business knows that happens to be true. And this one's going to test us all here coming up on Thursday and Friday, too.
That's right.
Well, we appreciate it. Julie, Steve, we appreciate it. We love you guys. We'll see you here in a couple weeks. Thank you.
Oh, my God. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you, guys.
guys.
Thank you.
Day.
Great people, great cause.
Hold on, James. You're muted, buddy. There we go.
There we go. Thank you to Steve and Julie for joining us. As everyone knows, we did the Super Bowl squares last year. Huge success. We mentioned $25 a square this year. 100% of the proceeds go to Maddie's house. And those 4 prizes are going to be all autographed Bengals prizes. So for the first quarter, it's going to be a Von Bell autographed jersey, the winner of that. Second quarter will be a Boomer Esiason signed football. Third quarter will be a Joe Mixon autograph. It's an orange jersey, right, Jimmy? You got it there?
Yep, I got that here.
And fourth quarter will be the autographed T. Higgins helmet. Nice. So 4 great prizes, simply a $25 donation. There's going to be a link. You can go right to Maddie's house. We'll put Bengal Gyms in there. You can buy as many squares as you want. We'll add you into the Super Bowl squares, and then we'll draw the numbers depending on when we sell it out, so you know which numbers you have for next Sunday. And another great cause. So thank you to Steve and Julie for coming on, and we're excited to help out another excellent Cincinnati charity.
Yeah, we're hoping that should be later tonight or first thing in the morning, guys, that the charity, the squares should be out there for you. Guys, I'm just going to tell you, that thing sold really quickly last year. So if you went in on the Super Bowl squares, I would get in as soon as you possibly can. So keep an eye on all 3 of our social media platforms. As soon as we're ready, we'll post that later tonight or first thing in the morning, guys. So make sure you jump in early on that. They're going to go quick. So
one other thing before we wrap up, KC, we got a picture here of the ceremony. As Jimmy said earlier, a lot of us went down. Those that weren't sitting front row went down, got pictures. You can see Dak Taylor accepting, the Lamar Hunt Trophy for the AFC champions. You see the Black family up there. Our player. The one thing, actually, it was better to be at home. The audio wasn't working, or they didn't have it on in the stadium during that post-game ceremony. So we could see him talking on the mic. Couldn't hear anything. To their defense, I will say the audio messed up during the national anthem, and then the halftime show.
Oh, the halftime show was the worst.
They had speakers actually rolled out on the field and blaring everywhere. I think they overruled the.
You couldn't hear any of the pundits. Yeah.
So it was sound issues throughout Arrowhead last Sunday, and then I didn't have time to load a bunch of pictures, but here's our buddy T. Higgins that went through the crowd, high-fiving people. You can see the AFC Championship hat there. We were on the Kansas City bench sideline. T came by, Trey Hopkins, Zach Taylor actually came by and high-fived everybody. I don't know who you had over on your opposite side there, Jimmy, but cool gesture by the players. Mike Brown walked right in front of us, gave a wave. People were chanting Mike, which was pretty cool to see, and it was a lot of fun. Like I said, if we could only just hear that ceremony, it would have been 100 times better.
Yeah, I still say as soon as the game was over, they shut down the video, turned off the sound. I think it was kind of shitty what Kansas City did because they could at least left off the sound.
I can't think that came from the top of the Chiefs organization. The Hunt family is known as some of the classiest people in all of sports. So, maybe somebody got an idea that was a bad idea, but I can't believe that came from the very top of Kansas City.
Right. All right, so we still got a ton of stuff to get through here in the next 20 minutes. James, you want to go ahead and kick off the next guest?
No, go ahead.
Not yet, huh? All right. So here's what we'll do, guys. So we're in the AFC Championship. Guys, everybody that's watching, we literally are living Cincinnati football history right now, guys. Everything on my wall behind me, the AFC Championship banners and footballs and all those things. Guys, there's all kinds of stuff out there right now from a Bengals memorabilia perspective. There's one thing right now that's going. I'll pull the picture up. Jamie will share a link. So you can go to this link on this website. It is literally the AFC Championship football. It tells every score of every game this year. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase's statistics are on here. The AFC Championship logo's on there. So very cool. Remember, there's only 5,000 of these. So, guys, these will go, and these will go quick. I know that we just posted those like immediately after the game Sunday, and I know they sold dozens and dozens and dozens of these. So if you want these, grab them, because I made a mistake years ago not grabbing, some of these other footballs that this same company has done. And once they're gone, the prices on these things go up. I think they're $99, if I'm not mistaken. There's a promo code on there as well, Bengal Gym promo code. But guys, we were living Cincinnati football history. There's going to be all kinds of cool memorabilia. I know it's been very tough, people trying to grab newspapers, and you can't find them anywhere. People are just gobbling them up. So grab whatever you can, because 10, 15, 20, 30 years from now, people are going to be looking for this stuff. And you want to say you've got a piece of Cincinnati football history for sure.
All right, time for the guest. Like you said, we got a lot going on tonight. Let's our next guest, as we know, the Bengals had a lottery for season ticket holders who were eligible to purchase Super Bowl tickets. We know Jimmy got 2 Super Bowl tickets as fan of the year. There's 3 other folks on the screen who are season ticket holders who weren't fortunate enough. And, hey, the lottery, we didn't win, so we'll have to go in the secondary market to buy them. For those that didn't win the lottery, or maybe they're not season ticket holders but want to go to Los Angeles and partake in the fun, we're going to bring on our next guest, who's going to talk about how they can do that. Jesse, welcome to Bengal Gyms. How you doing?
Hey guys, how are you? Thanks for having me. Good stuff. I've never seen this format for a video cast podcast. I love it.
Yeah, we thank Jamie up there in the top right corner from Canada for doing all the producing since our inception. We appreciate his hard work, and that's the beauty behind the producing.
Yeah, you got this is highly produced, highly credible. I mean, I feel like this is the kind of media outlet Ticket IQ wants to be associated with. So we're excited to be here. Thank you.
Cool.
Well, let's talk about that. Certainly, I think the Super Bowl is probably the hardest ticket to come by in professional sports. We all know how long it's been since the Bengals have had the opportunity to play in it. So for those fans that were shut out, tell us what you offer to get tickets to go to LA.
Yeah, sure. So I'll give kind of the quick overview of Ticket IQ, and then I want to get into data, because we focus a lot on data, historical, as well as this year's data. So we've been around about 12 years. We're a no-fee marketplace. So we are just like StubHub or Vivid Seats, but we don't charge fees. We have a different business model in that we're really focused on, helping consumers get the best deals on tickets. So we tend to be about, 10 to 15% cheaper than StubHub. Sometimes if you're shopping, you see the base price, you click through, and then you get to the checkout, and it's like, wait, where'd all these fees come from? We don't have that. So sometimes you're looking at us before you check out, we might look more expensive, but really after the fees, we're significantly more affordable. And for a big ticket item like this, you're going to save, thousands of dollars potentially. So, that's the sort of pitch on Ticket IQ. In terms of this year, it's pretty interesting. I mean, it's the most expensive. We've been doing this 12 years. This is the most expensive Super Bowl, second most expensive Super Bowl that we've tracked at this point, 2 days after the AFC Championship. So, it's historically high from a demand standpoint, and we think that's driven by a few things. We think it's driven by the location. That may be in some ways the biggest driver, although the Bengals or location, I would argue, are the 2 big drivers. The one thing that's not driving it is Rams, because they don't have any fans in LA, at least. So really what we're seeing is a Super Bowl that's being driven by the location and the Bengals, one of the teams. Now, if this had been San Francisco, just to give some context, I think the cheapest ticket probably would have been $2,000 higher at this point. So right now, the cheapest ticket's about $5,600. If the Niners had made it, I think it would have been closer to 7,000-ish in that range. So, Bengals fans got kind of lucky or picked the right opponent, whether, they'd rather pay more and have the Niners or pay a little less and have the Rams. That's up for debate, but it could have been worse. Let's say that from a cost perspective. Still not cheap by any means, but could have been worse.
So, Jesse, I got a question for you. So I know I might have heard this wrong or read it wrong, but the AFC Championship game between the Chiefs and the Bengals, was it the most expensive AFC Championship game ever?
It was, let me check that. I don't, it was very high. I don't know if it was the most expensive AFC Championship. I think it was the second most, actually. Okay. Now that I'm recalling, it was the second most behind. I know it's up on our Twitter. We tweet all this stuff out. So if you want to kind of dig through our Twitter or Instagram, we have a ton of this kind of data infographic content on, big events, small events, teams, that kind of stuff. So, but it was really high. Let's just say that it was top 2 or 3. And I think the Bengals have been driving demand everywhere they go. I mean, this is, the Bengals are the new Steelers. I'm going to go on record and say
that word on the show.
You can't say that word. You didn't get the memo. The pre-show.
I didn't get the memo.
That's okay.
I know James
went to your spam.
Yeah, James emailed you, and you didn't read the fine print. Don't say the C word or the P word. It's called the city near West Virginia. It's okay. We'll give you a pass.
So that's my one allowance. Yeah. It'll never happen again.
You're fine. Just be careful and don't do it again.
It'll never happen again.
Or Jamie will cut you out.
It'll never happen again.
I'm just kidding.
So, Jesse, I know we've shared some of your posts, the links on there, and you got some stuff going on. So basically, it's very simple. They just go on that link, they can click it, they can view the seats based on price and location and everything. Just
you can shop by location. You can look by most expensive ticket. There's a couple $40,000 tickets on the Bengals side. If anyone's looking to go really big, you can find those. You can find the cheapest, which are, as I said, about $5,600. We have seat views. You can see kind of all the views from the seats, and we've got a great customer service team. So if anyone has questions, just reach out and they'd be happy to answer questions, because we know this is a big purchase. One thing I would say, just as a parting note, over the last 5 years, the cheapest, with the exception of last year, which was kind of not a usual Super Bowl because of the pandemic and limited supply, and basically because of the pandemic, over the last 5 years, excluding last year, the cheapest time to buy tickets has been week 1, not week 2.
That was my question. So you kind of led into that. For those that are on the fence, thinking about going, looking at hotels and travel, from your analytic data, it is better to buy now than to wait. I know, looking at Kansas City last weekend, basically the cheapest ticket price doubled as we got closer to the game into Sunday. So do you envision more of that coming, Jesse, as we get into next week and closer to the Super Bowl?
I think, the way that there's one organization that manages pricing, is called On Location. They're sort of the owner of all Super Bowl tickets. That's their pricing strategy over the last 5 years, right? Is incent people to buy early. What they don't want to have happen, which is the consumer sort of got trained for many years to do this on the internet, is wait until the last minute. And they're trying to sort of get the opposite to happen. They want people to buy early as opposed to late. So, they're not like 10 years ago, individual brokers owned all these tickets. Now it's owned by, this is the NFL selling tickets in effect, right? It's a separate company, but it's the NFL selling tickets. Whereas 20 years ago, certainly the last time the Bengals were in the Super Bowl, it was thousands of people selling tickets. So it's a very different market. And and there's a floor, right? They're just not willing. They're not interested in selling a ticket under this year 4,000, maybe 5,000 is my hunch. And they don't need to, right? Because they're the NFL. They're basically the NFL.
Yeah.
Damn it, Jesse. Who the hell's going to buy a $40,000 ticket? Come on.
Well, no, I said 4 or 5, but
I thought there was
$40,000. I mean,
There is a $40,000 ticket.
Yeah, I think there's more. I think there's 50,000 you can spend, and I think SoFi has actually on-field seats. I don't even know if you can actually buy those, but well, Jesse, we appreciate that. Before you go, please tell our listeners where they can go, and I think is there a special code you have?
I think we do. Yes, we do. Let me dig it up here. Apologies. The special code is shocking. Bengal Jim. There it is. It's really creative, right?
Is there a surcharge with that, or?
Yeah, you pay more. You pay more.
You pay more. It's $100 off, I believe, is the code.
That helps me in that big ticket. That's good, man. That's good.
Yeah.
The nice thing about it, Jesse, no fees. I mean, another ticket place to go name. I hate when I used to use them years ago. Buy tickets, I get to the checkout, like, holy shit, what's this?
Yeah,
another $200 here for. So,
well,
brother,
with the Super Bowl, it's another 1,000.
Yeah, it's crazy
because the price point's so big. So yeah, we don't have any of those fees. Great customer service. Make sure you get to the game, and we've also got some great deals on like Shaq Funhouse, which is a Super Bowl party down there that I think a lot of people are going to. Maxim's a little expensive for my taste. It's like a $5,000 ticket. You can go to Shaq's Funhouse for like $350. See a bunch of music. Shaq. DJ Shaq, obviously.
Now, Jesse, we haven't announced the Bengal Gym private party yet. Would fans be able to get those through Ticket?
Absolutely. We can have a separate conversation about getting those into the hands of public. Of any, no, absolutely. There's a lot to do around the weekend. I've been to only one game over. I should have gone to more, but I loved it. Highly recommended for anyone who hasn't been. And LA is a good place to have it.
Yeah.
Cool.
We appreciate it, Jesse.
Yes.
Thank you, guys. Good luck.
Thanks.
We'll be spreading the word leading up to next Sunday for our Bengals fans that need tickets.
Yeah, check out Ticket IQ. Really appreciate the support and nice job on everything you guys do.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Have a good one, buddy. Cheers.
Guys, I tell you what, Jesse's a good dude. So I just want to tell you what happened with this, right? It's funny, when we started our social media platform, started this Tailgate, at no point people are saying, are you guys social media influencers? I'm like, no, we just doing this because we love our Bengals. We love doing this. We love being part of Bengals Nation. We love the community, part of the fam. But guys, something special has happened over the past year, man. And the followers that we have on our social media platforms is amazing. We have people coming to us now wanting access to those viewers and to those subscribers. So Ticket IQ wanted to work with us. And like, we don't want money. We're not trying to make money off this thing. So we asked them to make a small donation to Maddie's house. And they made a donation today of $250 to Maddie's house on your behalf as Bengal fans. So that's cool. That's what it's about.
Speaking of that, Jimmy, I just got a text. We had the Hardy family that joined us from Louisiana, an LSU fan. Just donated as well to Maddie's house for their watching the show, and generosity. We've said it all along. The generosity of Bengals fans is tremendous. So we appreciate everyone that does it, and we're just gonna keep giving back as much fun as we have. We're waiting on TJ. I think a lot of people saw the Rusty bus made its maiden voyage to Kansas City this past weekend. TJ's going to come on, talk about a lot of the fun that he had on his way there and on his way back, and a couple stops that they made. And you want to show us what you're reading there, Jimmy?
Yeah. So my mother-in-law, everybody is literally trying to grab these newspapers. So I've collected all these newspapers over the years from the 80s and 90s, Super Bowl preview, Bengals going to the Super Bowl. So Tricia called her mom and dad and asked them to go grab a newspaper for us yesterday as we were driving home because we knew they'd be hard to come by. I think my mother-in-law went to 5 or 6 different places and found a couple newspapers, but somebody was asking in the chat area, what are you guys talking about? This is the cover of the Cincinnati Enquirer, guys. This stuff, we are living Cincinnati football history right now. These are things to save, to keep as part of your Bengals memorabilia. And one more thing, this is the inside of that page. Guys, we're living it every day right now. So make sure you grab what you can, for your memorabilia collection, because this is stuff that we're going to remember forever.
So our guest is here. He's continuing the rounds. We're going to show where he was at. This was at Paul Brown Stadium today. You've seen this bus. It's almost as famous as Big Burrow, where it has, but Big Burrow has its own Twitter page. That Rusty Bus has its own Facebook page. And a lot of people stand back and look at this thing and say, yeah, that's an old piece of crap. And they don't realize that, no, it's actually not. It's basically a brand new bus with an awesome wrap. TJ is somebody I knew many years ago when I was involved in racing. He is the founder of that Rusty Bus, owns GCI Digital in Cincinnati, and we're going to bring him on and talk about how this whole thing came together. TJ, are you in a closet?
I am in my truck. I've got 2 huskies and sleeping babies in the house, so I'm not going to wake up them.
It would have been way better if you said you were in the damn RV, damn it.
Well, shitter's still full.
Everybody's calling you Cousin Eddie. Now they get to see this is Cousin Eddie over here.
Cousin Eddie without the white robe. So tell us, TJ, how this even came about. Obviously, you have a motorhome. You use it traveling with the off-road stuff that you do. So how did you decide, man, I'm going to take this brand new bus and make it look like Cousin Eddie's?
So it was a Friday afternoon at work, and Heather and I, we were getting ready to take the kids to Disney, and Jeff Rowland, who's my lead graphic designer at GCI, he and I were eating lunch, and I looked at him and I said, I want to make my Christmas vacation extra special this year. He goes, what do you have in mind? I said, well, we're leaving Thursday next week, and I want to wrap the bus. And he goes, what? I'm like, let's start wrapping it on Monday. Well, Jeff's off on Fridays and Mondays. He also has his other business he tends to. And Justin was finishing wrapping it on Thursday, and Heather and I left on Friday for Christmas. And it was by far the best Christmas vacation anyone could ask for. People are stopping in the middle of Pigeon Forge. We stayed there one night, and then we drove down to Tropical Palms. I mean, the RV community is in pure shock. They think that it's going to just break down in the middle of the highway. It's a 2014. It's absolutely ridiculous looking, and iconic. On YouTube, there's multiple YouTubers that have done reviews of it, and it's got to be the most photographed RV on the planet at this point in time.
That's cool.
So yes, I would agree with that. And, I think everybody's a fan of Christmas Vacation, and everybody I showed it to, they couldn't grasp it. What is it? It's old, and then. A lot of people saw it for the first time this weekend in Kansas City as far as Bengals fans. And, man, I can't tell you how many compliments you got. Do you want to tell us what they said in Kansas City when you pulled in and they saw that bus?
Well, first off, the Kansas City Chief fans were absolutely mortified to round the corner, getting ready to pull underneath the overpass, pulling into the stadium. There was 2 Bengals fans there before them, and they had to have been like, the guy goes, what time did you get here? Well, somebody told me to get there extra early, and he was still in bed, tucked in, but we were there at 5:15, 5:30. And Yeah,
He won.
let's
That's
just put it
why we
this
won the
way:
game. That's why we won the game.
we shocked the world. We
That's,
shocked the world in Kansas City.
Yes. So there's one,
But-
there's one unique thing about this bus, and I'm going to pop off this picture here, and you can see it's got our playoff opponents on it. See the
The
first
next
one?
target.
Yep. You got Tennessee and X, and then Kansas City going into last week had the target, but it's now been X'd out, and now we just have one left.
Yep. We're wanting to go. It's a 3-day drive. Huge commitment. I mean, that's a full out commitment. Fuel alone is going to cost over $5,000 to get that out there and back. So,
well, you might as well start a GoFundMe. There's about 100 of them going. So,
I was just hoping James is going to sponsor it. But no, our biggest concern is to be able to get back in time to enjoy the party back here in Cincinnati. You know, everybody else is going to be able to hop on an airplane and get back. As much as I want to get out there and tailgate and experience that, I feel that the experience here with my kids. Did you guys read the Facebook story about how he was kicking in his backyard with the PVC post?
Yep.
How about that?
Talking about shooting.
So my boy, he's wanting to kick the football. And he's 11, so it's giving him something to shoot forward to.
That's cool.
And being a soccer player, it's super cool to watch, and the family is very hyped up about it right now.
I'm going to pop up a couple more pictures. This was a very cool picture that this was on the way home after the big.
So can you tell me how you think this was shot?
I wanted to ask you the same damn thing.
I think didn't you have paparazzi just following you the whole way?
It was amazing. Every single person that passed was honking, waving. So we're crossing the river, and I look at Heather. I said, "Get out." And she goes, "What?" I said, "Get out. Get the camera. I want the arch in the background." And she, what a trooper. That's the middle of the expressway.
Yeah.
So, and James, you said it. That's the money shot.
It is. We have
the money shot
in the top left corner. If you would use insurance with Jim, don't tell him those stories. They'll. He doesn't.
Yeah.
We need better risk management here, damn it. I hope you had life insurance on her. I don't know what's going on. I
took out extra coverage. She jumped.
So we got that one, and your poor wife went stood in the middle of the road. God bless her. And then we got this one on the way back as well.
That's the biggest rack I've ever seen. So that's in Casey, Illinois. I don't know if anybody's ever stopped through there before, but amazing little town.
And then tell us about you pulled up and somebody was getting a perm and ran out and wanted to get a picture.
So Heather, she was taking photos of us like by the world's largest wind chime, the world's largest chair. And Heather, she comes up to the bus just dying laughing. I'm like, what? She goes, did you see the lady that just ran out of the salon? And I'm like, no, I didn't. She goes, look, this lady still had curlers all in her hair with the salon tarp over her chest. She got up out of the chair and she said, oh my gosh, that's the bus that I've seen on the internet. And I had to get a picture of it. She ran around the block to get to us. It was hilarious.
That's good stuff.
Well,
no, we're ready. I don't know what events. Send me some information. Hopefully there's some stuff going on in downtown Cincinnati. We would love to be a part of some of the venues. Our main reason of doing this bus like it is, I want to get people to smile. That was the whole Christmas vacation wrap idea. And then Jeff and I, we wanted to to capitalize on the Bengals, man. Like, this is the hottest thing out there right now. Everybody's talking about the Bengals, and I want to make more people smile every day.
Well, here's
James, if you could sit.
You've done that.
Yeah.
As we said, when we have that Super Bowl parade through Cincinnati, we're going to make sure that Rusty Bus is in that, right, Jimmy?
Hell yeah, it's got to be leading the parade. We're gonna have Joe Burrow on top of that damn thing, shotgunning beers and smoking cigars.
So I can put a flatbed trailer behind it and pull it. If you guys do want to put the generator on the tongue of the trailer, Jim, you can sit in your lawn chair in a king seat with your crown, with the big ass Burrow. We can make a great time for sure.
It sounds like it. Well, thank you, TJ.
Yeah,
I
man.
gotta get back. Make sure those kids are in bed and you didn't wake the dogs and the hamster and the gerbil and all that. But what you did was cool. That is certainly awesome work. The company GCI Digital does.
If anybody has any photos of it, if they can go to our Facebook, That Rusty Bus, and post some of the photos of it, it's very cool for Heather and I to just walk through and check out, just seeing all the different photos. I mean, I met some guy in this fuzzy jacket, a Kansas City fan. He goes, "I cannot believe you have us targeted." And I'm like, "Well, we're going to be Xing you out here in a little bit, but step on over here and get a photo with me." The guy was dying laughing. So we got a photo. It's on there. It was a sweet jacket.
Nice. Well, we appreciate you, Jay.
Awesome, thank you.
Definitely brought excitement to Cincy. Having you in Kansas City last weekend was a lot of fun. You were the official hauler for Big Burrow. We appreciate that. Our Kenny's day drinking lager, and let's hope that that Rusty Bus is leading the parade for Super Bowl in downtown Cincinnati.
Well, I appreciate everything. Who day, boys?
Who day, buddy?
Yeah,
we'll see you, bud.
Cheers, buddy. Thank you.
Bye.
Dude, that bus was the talk of, Kansas City. Every Bengal fan wanted to see that damn thing. What a great guy, too. Just a really good dude, James.
That was a lot of fun. A lot of fun, very cool, and it's last weekend. I mean, what can you say about it other than something we're gonna remember for a while? And
James,
yes.
Do you think he'll let us borrow that when we do our road trip to go up and visit Jamie?
They will not let that thing across the board.
That'd be fun to see.
I don't even know if Brantford has paved streets. I don't know if we want to drive it.
Yeah, we do. We just got them last year. They're freshly paved.
Before we go, just something just reminded me. I'm going to run off the air real quick and get something that was given to us at the tailgate, and we need to talk about it.
Rodrigo, stay with us. Stay with us.
Yes.
So I tell you what, let's go ahead and start our closing statements here, guys. We're a little over, so I don't know, Jamie, you want to go ahead and get started?
Are we doing a show next week?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're doing a show next week? All right. Well, then I don't really have much to say other than I'm super excited that we're going to the Super Bowl. But, we'll dive more into that next week. But, yeah, this is absolutely crazy. And, obviously you guys living in the area, and James, I mean, I know you're not in Cincinnati, but you're close. You're there enough times. It's cool to hear that the city's crazy and people are seeing it at the gas station and stuff. It's happening here too. Like, it's happening up here. I got a Bengals sticker on my car, and I'm always wearing Bengals stuff, and it's incredible. Like, I was out shopping the day for our takeout, and one of the guys that was stocking the shelves comes over, and we had like a 15-minute conversation about the game. And he's a Packers fan, but he's adopted the Bengals as his team the rest of the way. And hey, let's remember, guys, we're Bengals fans. We haven't gone this far in a long time. We've adopted other teams that we cheered on the rest of the way. Every year watching the Super Bowl, we pick a side on who we think we want to win. So for those longtime fans, let's stop being gatekeepers. I'm seeing a lot of gatekeeping happening on social media. Like, I've been a fan longer than you, and man, forget that stuff, man. Like, anybody that's cheering for the Bengals, we should be happy to have them cheering for us. The more people, the merrier. if you're a new fan, you got to start somewhere. You just happen to pick a year that the Bengals are going to the Super Bowl. So welcome to the train. I hope you stay on it, and it's going to be an exciting decade or more of Bengals football coming up.
Agree, buddy. Agree. Tom?
Just like Jamie said, an exciting special time, bred from an exciting special team. So enjoy the next 2 weeks, no matter how good, just enjoy and remember this feeling. But like I said, in building on what Jamie said, I think this is the first of a long time of a, prolonged period of very special teams for the Bengals, led by our coach and quarterback. So, but enjoy and enjoy what we have right now, because it is special and it's long overdue. James?
Well, thank you, Tom. Before we go any further, Jimmy, you did mention Rodrigo, and I think probably sometimes people think we're joking about the scope of the Bengals fan base, how diehard Bengals fans are that don't live locally. Jamie alluded to what he saw in province of Ontario in Canada. We know the gentleman that Clark Harris flew over and gave game tickets to from Israel. We know the map at the tailgate that shows fans from all over the world that have come and hung out with us. And we had a gentleman Sunday at the tailgate that came up from Mexico, and he kind of hung around our truck throughout the day and post game. Had an opportunity to talk with him. It was kind of a decision for him whether to come. Didn't have a game ticket, but wanted to be near Bengals fans, and had a smile on his face the whole day. His dad was battling COVID. Was worried about him whether to make the trip. He got the blessing to come, and he just, like I said, smiled ear to ear the whole day. So he gave us this flag. I'm gonna turn back
Look
here.
at that.
It's Cincinnati Bengals, Mexico, and we'll have this at the tailgate. And again, this fandom is global. It spreads, not only from California to Maine, but all over. We know certainly there's a lot of Spanish-speaking Bengals fans. Rodrigo and his team have a podcast in Spanish that they do weekly that we'll share on our show. So kudos to him. Hopefully his father's doing well. And there's a story. I mean, I think his flights were from someplace in Mexico to Mexico City, from Mexico City to Texas, from Texas to Chicago. And
a lot of layovers.
And then drove 3 hours to get into Kansas City. So kudos to him for just come and hang out and be surrounded by Bengals fans. That is awesome. The one thing I want to touch on, I think a lot of people saw it on social media, is we all know the Super Bowl is a shuffle. Is that the right word, Jimmy, that the 89 team did?
It wasn't the Super Bowl shuffle. It was just a Michael Martin kind of led a Who Dey song is what it was.
He led a Who Dey song. So here we are all these years later, and a group got together at an establishment last Wednesday night, and great assortment of Bengals fans there. They did a kind of a remix of that song. I think there were 7 former Bengals there. Help me on this. Mike Martin, Icky, David Fulcher, Barney Bussey, E.T., and Joe Kelly.
Yep.
Yes. We're there, redid this video, and we're not going to show you the whole thing, but we're going to show you maybe 30 to 45 seconds of it. It was pretty cool to see. And a lot of folks that chime in and watch the show, you'll see their smiling faces on this video. Jamie, if you can play it.
Yep.
Logan Wilson's got for Cincinnati. Right place, right time.
Touch. Who they? Who they? Who they? Who they? Who they?
very cool that we did
Very
share
cool.
it on our social media. And kudos, literally, it was Wednesday night from 7 till 9. They shot most of that video. And then I think it was Friday night at, I don't know what time it was. They had that thing ready. Excellent job to the producers. You can go to our social media and see it. And it was a lot of fun. Tom was offered a dancing skit in that video. He politely declined it. Why, I don't know. But
You can see me in the group. I mean, damn it, I still got the moves.
I heard that they got his rider and they couldn't meet his demands. So
yeah, that's not surprising. But
you're my
thank you.
agent, Jamie.
But thank you to all those that came out, and kudos to Mike Martin for organizing. I think the 7 former Bengals that were part of that. So here we are. I mean, if you would have asked us at the beginning of the season, would you ever dream of being here? No way. As I've said since the playoffs started, we're playing with house money. I think we're ahead of where we thought we were going to be. On a Facebook post Saturday or Sunday before the game, I used the hashtag Shock the World. I know the It Is Us narrative is now there, but let's be honest. Nobody thought we'd be here. Nobody thought we'd win in Kansas City, and we've shocked the world every game thus far. So hopefully that continues. Certainly, it's a big financial investment to go to LA for those that are going. Travel, safe trip. Hopefully you get the tickets. Congrats to those that won on the lottery. But if not, stay tuned. There's going to be a lot of fun stuff going on in Cincinnati. And hopefully we're all going to be together, early that following week with a big Super Bowl parade in downtown Cincy. Does Maddie's house, Jamie will have the Super Bowl swears announced or posted by the end of the night. You can stay there, pay. We'll randomly select the swears. Then we'll randomly do the card draw for whose numbers are there. And again, 100% of the proceeds go to Maddie's house on ball jersey, Boomer Esiason signed ball, Joe Mixon autographed jersey, and this T. Higgins autographed helmet will be the 4 prizes for the 4 quarters. And again, all those proceeds go to Maddie's house. So thank you, everybody. I will turn it over to Fan of the Year.
Yeah, guys. Just want to give kudos to Bengal fans here that were in Cincinnati Sunday after the game, and Bengal fans that were, a boatload of fans in Kansas City. I know you didn't see them on TV, but I'm just telling you, it was an amazing amount of fans. The police in Cincinnati and the police in Kansas City praised the Bengal fans for not being stupid. The Kansas City police saying it was the best group of fans they've ever seen in Kansas City. That is kudos to Houday Nation. That's what this is supposed to be like. You hear the horror stories about going to some lesser city near West Virginia, maybe the city up north, and the stupid things that happen there. We live in Cincinnati, guys. We respect our own fans, and we respect other fans as well, man. And I think that's what it's all about. And I'm so proud of Houday Nation, and I can't wait to see what happens after the Super Bowl, man, and how much fun we're going to have after that. I think there was some things sent out if you were a season ticket holder. There's a pep rally coming up this Monday at Paul Brown Stadium. It looks like I don't have the details in front of me, but if you're a season ticket holder, make sure you check your email. You've got to get your tickets electronically. They're free. If you're a season ticket holder, you should be getting that email. If you haven't, I would call. But there's going to be a big pep rally down at Paul Brown Stadium here Monday. Tom, you got that email, right? You guys got that email?
I have not received it yet, but
I haven't received it yet either. So
I think I saw something in my email about the pep rally.
Yeah, I know it goes out over a couple days. So just check. If you don't have it by tomorrow afternoon or something, make sure you follow up. But if you're a season ticket holder, that email, if they got your email, it definitely will go out here. Also, I want to say people are asking about the tailgate in LA. Us in the trailer, we've got calls out. We've got venues we're checking on. We will not be able to tailgate Sunday at the Super Bowl. They're not going to let us anywhere near that stadium. But we've got an idea where we're probably going to do something. We want to do a meet and greet / tailgate. We're trying to get us a venue, outdoor venue, maybe get some food trucks in there, do something fun. A bigger place, outdoor facility where we can have more people attend. So stay tuned, guys. It's not going to happen over the next couple of days. We should have it finalized hopefully here over the weekend, and we'll get that posted once we finalize some things. We've got a bunch of calls out, talked to a lot of people right now to secure that. So everybody's talking about apparel. Bengals Pro Shop, they went through like vultures, man. You guys went through and bought everything there. Still try the Pro Shop, try Cooks. I know Dick's, Dick's Sporting Goods still had some stuff. So if you want AFC Championship hats and shirts, if you can't find them at Cooks and or the Pro Shop, I know Dick's had them as well. I don't know if anybody else had any comments on that, where else to buy stuff. I think we're good there. And I want to say a shout out to the nickname that Tony put on our group, the Roadies. Guys, we sat before this year and said, a group of us, Caleb, myself, Tony, Carrie, Hannah, Brandon, Luke, Mariana, we all said we were going to go to every single game this year. Little did we know we were going to go to 3 playoff games, 17 regular season games home and away, 3 playoff games, 2 on the road. Our 21st game of the year is coming up here next week, guys. So it's been fun hanging with them, a bunch of good folks. But who knew? None of us thought beginning of the year that we were going to go to 21 games this year. It's been a lot of fun. Got to work some extra hours, make some money to pay for this stuff, but it's going to happen. And the last thing, guys, next Tuesday's show, I am going to be in LA. So I'm going to try to find a great spot in LA as a backdrop, but we will be doing a show next week. I'm going to tell you right now, we will have a very special guest. We know we're going to have Marvin Lewis on, guys. We don't know if it's going to be next Tuesday or the Tuesday after. I'm trying to push it up to next Tuesday. So we know Marvin Lewis will be coming on the show with us either next Tuesday or the weekend or the following week. So we got some big names in the hopper. Marvin Lewis is definitely committed. We just got to – I want to firm that up if it's going to be next Tuesday or the following Tuesday, guys. Don't forget Maddie's house. Don't forget those Super Bowl squares, guys. Over $53,000. You guys are freaking amazing. And we appreciate everybody tuning in with us tonight. We love you guys. AFC champions, Super Bowl bound Cincinnati Bengals. Enjoy every minute of it, Cincinnati. We love you guys. Hoo day.
Hoo day.